Hey, what's up everybody? So today I wanted to do a video about the newish trailer from E3 2014 of Metal Gear Solid 5. I haven't done a video in a while, and I've just been busy, and it's like I know you guys have been waiting for it, so I'm finally sitting down and doing it and trying to get all my stuff together so I can maybe make more videos, but I don't know. So there are a lot of different things I wanted to talk about the trailer, but I'm going to try to pull as many of those together as I can in this one video, and then if further talking is needed, then I'll do a video about it. But most of the stuff just comes from the trailer itself. First off, I wanted to talk about just the trailer is really good. The song is awesome. I have it on my phone. I listen to it when I drive. I also have this. I don't know if it'll show. Okay, there. Yeah, I got that's one of the favorite things I got from the trailer is that we have an official Outer Heaven logo. There was a logo before, but I'm not sure if it was official because it had a swastika on the guy's head, and it's I don't know. But this is a cooler logo, and it's I've actually modified it a bit and made it my little button thing up in the corner, probably around here. But yeah, it's just really cool. All their trailers have been really good. All the songs, I have all the songs from all the trailers on my phone. I usually just rip the audio straight from the trailer and put it on my phone because I like to also hear the little gameplay snippets and stuff. But yeah, that's just kind of my personal preference. But yeah, the trailer itself, it's I like it the most out of all the ones I've seen so far because I really love the tone it creates. You really feel like this trailer really shows you where this game's going in kind of a story philosophical standpoint, and you really get a better idea of what's going on, and I feel like you understand what's going on in Big Boss's head a lot more, and it's just and it's so weird because it's there's almost no talking in the trailer. It's all just the song, and then you see all these snippets of stuff. So there's a lot of symbology and a lot of things that are playing out that I've kind of picked up on, but I mean everything's kind of just whatever you see what you want to see, I guess. But I think some of the things, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the trailer feels like it's really, you see Big Boss kind of becoming this new person, and he's kind of being pulled more into the culture of you feel like he's really being pulled into the warrior type culture, being a soldier, being out on the battlefield, how life and death are so close to each other, as opposed to just living a normal life. You don't even think about dying, but when you're on the battlefield, it's you could die at any moment. And you kind of see these things start to play out in this trailer. It's the warrior type culture. You see that with all the soldiers are around, and they're fighting, and they're we got a fight club thing going on. It's you haven't really seen anything like that before. You've seen him train with the soldiers, but it was kind of more, relaxed, or not relaxed, but very strict, very uniform, soldiers would act. But this is more ruffian, they're embracing the culture. That's not just that they're soldiers, but they're enjoying being soldiers, and it's that type of society and everything. It's just cool to see that. You see them giving into that type of culture, I guess. I keep saying culture. See him actually trying to teach the soldiers. There's that one part where he's got the knife, and the guy's holding it to his chest, and he's pulling the guy's hand toward him, and the guy's no, and it's he's trying to he's teaching him the lesson. It's if you're going to be a soldier, if you're going to go out on the battlefield, it's kill or be killed. It's like you can't hold back, and that's what he's trying to teach. And the fact that he's like actually doing it to himself, it's like also kind of shows he's come to that like realization. He's kind of made peace with that like you see later on his philosophies when he talks to like Solid Snake and stuff about how, you know, he's a soldier, and that's what he wants. He wants the world, like he wants a continuous war where soldiers always have a place, and it's like he doesn't accept the other part of life, like just having a normal life. He's like, no, I'm a soldier, always going to be a soldier, always been a soldier. It's just who I am. And you see how he's really embracing this. And even more of the death aspect, like the part where he scoops the ashes out and rubs them on his face. And it's like, you would look at that like, normal people look at that and be like, that guy's crazy or something, like just rubbing dead people on his face. But if you look at it from a more symbolic standpoint, it has kind of a different meaning to it. It's more like he's embracing death. Like that's what I feel like this trailer's kind of showing. Not just like him going into warrior culture, but him also embracing the death part of it. It's like life and death being so close, and like people around you are dying, and it's just like you see him kind of throwing himself into it and kind of becoming one with this new big boss, and it's pretty cool. You also see like kind of the side effects of this, I guess, or the new person he's becoming, the so-called demon. Like there's a lot of parts that kind of showcase that as well. Like there's the part when even when he has the ashes on his face, it flashes over and he's like covered in blood, and then they show him later covered in blood and he's like screaming and everything, and it's like you feel like you can kind of see like war. Like I think this paints the more like realistic picture of war. It's not like idealized. It's not like, you know, we're the heroes. We go out and we go kill terrorists or anything. That's what I've always liked about the Metal Gear Solid games, because like the good guys and the bad guys, whatever, like you may agree or disagree, but each of them have like valid reasons for being the way they are, even if they're just crazy. But they usually all have like a good established story, like this is who I am, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And Big Boss, we've got to see him develop into what he's now becoming. And this game, I think, is the kind of the final nail in the coffin of him becoming more of the bad guy that we know from the later in the timeline, but earlier in the series Metal Gear games. Like, and I think I even heard or watched or saw something, or somebody commented that like Hideo Kojima, like originally he didn't plan to do as many games with Big Boss as the main character, but now they've done more games where Big Boss was the main character instead of Solid Snake. But he said that he liked Big Boss more because Big Boss had a lot more depth to him, and you see that because Solid Snake doesn't. Solid Snake is pretty much the same guy from game 1 to the last game that we see him in. He kind of has the same morals, the same beliefs, and he just kind of stays as Solid Snake. But then Big Boss, we get to see him become like from a soldier. Then he's devastated after killing the boss, and then he becomes a leader, and then you just see him. He's changing so much as a person. It's very interesting to watch, and I'm sure it's interesting from the creative standpoint of actually having a character that you can do all this stuff with. And I think that's just really cool. One of my favorite things about this trailer, as far as the tone it's setting, is the way it really shows why Big Boss is so awesome. Like why he is Big Boss. Like, because it's like, when you think about it, like, I don't know if I've said this before, I may have talked about this in other videos, but like Big Boss, as far as like a soldier or whatever, he doesn't have any like special abilities or anything. He's just a like plain soldier. I mean, we're in the Metal Gear universe. Like, we've got robots, we've got cyborg ninjas, we've got psychics, we got all these like special units and everything, but all in all, Big Boss is just a plain soldier. It's like, what makes him so special? Why is he so powerful? Like, what is it about him that, that other people are fixated on? Like Zero wants his own, but he wants to control Big Boss. Like, why does he want Big Boss so bad? Like, why go to the point that you even clone him to create these, like, ultimate soldiers? Is like, why is he the ultimate soldier? What is it about him that makes him so powerful? What is it? And I think this trailer really shows why he's such a great soldier. It's because he is a leader. He can inspire belief in people. Like, he is just a great leader for people. And that may sound like kind of a small thing, but it's like, it's probably the most powerful thing you can have. Is like, if you believe in yourself, it's one thing, but if people believe in you, if you're able to, that's why people follow you. That's why people fight for you. That's why people die for you. It's because of Big Boss. It's like, he's our leader. And it's like, this trailer shows why people believe in him so much. It's because, like, look at everything that happens. It's like the soldiers' funerals, they're burning the bodies. It's like all the other soldiers are there, but Big Boss is standing right in the front, right by the fire, watching. It's like, what is the thing about a leader that's the most important thing, like, as far as from your standpoint? If I'm a soldier, what's important from my leader? Yeah, he's got to be strong. Yeah, he's got to know what he's doing, but does he care? Does he give a shit about his fellow soldiers? Like, we're not just some pawns in a game for him. It's like, he actually cares. He shows up. He's there at the funeral, even to the point, like, everything he's doing in the trailer, it's like all the other soldiers are watching this. It's like, even him scooping out the ashes and wiping them on his face. It's like, at the very end is really what showcases it all, and it shows why Big Boss is so amazing, and why you can tell that Kaz sees it. Like, you can tell that he gets it, because it's like, when he's like, we're not burying them at sea, he's like, no, we're going to make diamonds from their ashes, and we're carrying them into battle with us. And then he's like, a shining light to our brothers in arms. It's like, even when we're dead, we're still diamond dogs. It's just like, I mean, think about that. Think about that from a morality standpoint. Like, morale in a fucking group of soldiers. It's like, to almost be to the point where it's like, you can't die. It's like, even if I die, I'm still fighting. It's like, I'm still a part of this. It's like, I don't just disappear. It's like, I will be remembered. My life had a purpose. My life had a meaning. And Big Boss did that. It's like, that's what makes him so special. That's why Zero wants him. That's why I've always felt like that's the big thing about Big Boss. Like, that's why Zero always wanted to control him. That's why Zero wanted his own little clones. I mean, hell, one of his clones was the president of the United States of America. I mean, shit. That should show you right there just what he's capable of. That even his clone becomes president. It's like, that's how powerful of a leader he is. Like, Zero wants to create a world with one government or whatever, and it's like, Zero's a leader in a sense, but he's not like a leader like Big Boss is a leader. Zero doesn't really inspire belief. He can inspire fear. He can get things done. He can do what he wants, but he doesn't inspire people. He's hidden away, and he's giving orders by proxy and everything. But Big Boss, he's right there on the front lines. He's in. I mean, there's like a picture or something I saw somewhere. You see like all these guys like trying to pull this big block or whatever, and there's a guy sitting on top, and it's like, Boss. And I know this kind of contradicts it, but, and then the one underneath is, now that guy that was sitting on top is in the front, like, pointing and everything, and it's like, leader. And I'm like, that's really the difference. Like, he's out there fighting with them. He's part of the group. He acknowledges them as soldiers. He acknowledges himself as a soldier. It's like, he doesn't see himself as anything special. Really great people will never have to tell you how great they are. Other people will tell you how great they are. And that's what Big Boss is. Like, that's who he is. That's why he's so like revered and everything. It's just because it's not. He's not out there like, I'm Big Boss. I could beat anybody. I can do anything. He's just like, I'm gonna do what I have to do. It's like, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. And because of that, it's like you see him, you can't help but idolize him, can't help but respect him for being like so self-sufficient and everything, and actually giving a shit about his soldiers and doing things the right way, in a way. But because I mean, think about that. I mean, even in your daily lives, I'm sure most of you have jobs or go to school. It's like, who are the people that make the most impact on you? Look at your bosses, look at your teachers and everything. Who inspires you? Who do you think deserves to even be in a leadership role? Like, we've all had those like bosses and teachers that just phoned it in. They didn't really care. They were just there for a paycheck. They were just doing what they were doing. They didn't care. But Big Boss, you actually feel like he cares about his soldiers and everything. It kind of reminds me of this part from Mass Effect. If you haven't played the game, this isn't really spoiler or anything. Anyway, there's this guy, he's leading this group of people to do something, and he's talking to like his commanding officer. He's like, why'd you pick me? Like, what's so special about me? And he's like, you can pay a soldier to fire a gun, you can pay him to charge the enemy and take a hill, but you can't pay him to believe. It's like, that's what we need. It's like, that's what you can do. Like, that's what I feel like Big Boss is. It's like, he's not just your employer and your employees go out, kill things. Oh, you died. That's cool. Just another tick-off thing. He actually cares about what he's doing, and he cares about the people around him. Like, we're brothers in arms, like real stuff. That's what I really like about this trailer. Like, that's what I think it really showcases. It showcases him as being a leader, being a real leader to these men. You know, regardless what your standpoint is on what they're doing or anything like that, or Big Boss becoming evil or good, you can't deny that you can't not respect him for what he is. Like, I mean, if I was a soldier, I just remember thinking, like, when I watched the trailer the first time, how funny it would be. I was like if you were like a soldier in the background, you're like, it's like, man, I hope when I die, Big Boss rubs my ashes all over his face. Like, I just imagine one of people being out there thinking, like, that's how big of a fan you are of Big Boss. There's also a lot of just like little cool things that happen throughout the trailer that I just thought was awesome. Like, we get to see Big Boss kind of fighting with who we suppose is Little Liquid, which at this point, if it's not Liquid, I will be more surprised. Like, because I'm just so fixated that it's Liquid that it's just like all doubt has been removed from my mind. I'm just like, that's Liquid. I would hope that we get to know more about him, especially how he was made, and perhaps somebody could tell me why. Because at the end of the first Metal Gear Solid, the whole game, Liquid thought that he was the one that possessed the recessive genes, the trash genes, and he found out that, and he thought that Solid Snake was the one that possessed all the dominant traits and everything. And like, you find out that it's actually flipped at the end, that he has the dominant and Solid has the recessive. But the thing that always bothered me about it is that if you know anything about genetics, like Solid Snake is showing the dominant traits, like the stronger traits, like blonde hair is a recessive gene, like light skin, light hair, like these are recessive traits, and they're showing in Liquid, which would make me believe that he did have the recessive traits while Solid had the dominant traits. And I don't know, I would just like to see if they have like maybe some reasoning behind it or something, like they did it to like trick him or something, or they spliced a little bit of the boss's DNA in with him or something. I don't know, something interesting, like, because it would be cool if like Zero had that idea to, like, he made Liquid have all the dominant genes, but then like tweaked his hair and stuff so that he could lie to him about like him having the recessive genes, so that he could like manipulate him and basically make him into the new Big Boss or whatever. Because instead of Solid Snake, because he would have, like, it just gives him an edge. Like, he has that chip off his shoulder already, so you can kind of like work with that and manipulate it as far as him being like, as opposed to him being like a perfect clone or having the more dominant genes and being the better of the twins. Like, he'd have that confidence and arrogance that he like projects. Like, so by kind of taking some of that away, you're able to get more power over him. I don't know. I really want to see what his character does. Like, I want to know more about Liquid. Like, because we don't really know much about him beyond, like, when we first meet him. Like, we know how he was created, but we don't know what he's done for half his life. Like, why is he here? Did he know, like, did he have any connection to Cypher? Like, that would be really cool if he has some sort of connection to Cypher. It's like, because they made the twins, but then it just seems like they went out into the world and didn't do anything with them. Like, the only person that they seemed to have any manipulation of was like Solidus, who became president, and Liquid went into the British Air Force and everything, and then Solid was a Green Beret, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, like, they never mention being like trained or brainwashed or anything to try to create. Like, how did they get away? Like, what happened there? Like, that's the thing that kills me about like this whole game franchise, is you've skipped over one of the big events that actually had, like, the Les Enfants Terribles. The project it's talked about in other games, but we never actually have a game where it's the center focus, that we actually know more about it and understand it and see it happen. Like, that's what I would like to see. Like, how did we end up here? Like, show me that little bridge of time that got us here, like, that made all the other games start. Like this was the big moment that pretty much Metal Gear's revolves around it. It's such a big moment to not be present in a game, like actually seeing it. But yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent, but yeah, it's cool to see a little Liquid. He's got this shirt on, and on the back of it says "Never be game over," which I tried looking into it, but I don't know if it connects to anything. If anybody out there knows, that'd be cool if you could just comment it and let me know, like, if it comes from anything specific. Like, off the top of my head, I was thinking, like, maybe it has something to do with, like, earlier games or something, and, like, there was, like, a mistranslation from Japanese to English, and it, like, said, like, never be game over for some reason, or, like, I don't know. It's just something like that that's popping in my head. But it'd be cool to know why he's wearing a shirt that says that. Like, what does it mean? They give you all these little tidbits, and you're like, what does it mean? What does it mean? There's heavy focus around this knife the whole time, and I think the knife kind of, once again, goes back to the symbology of death and having to kill and being killed and all that stuff. So I think that kind of folds into that. But because there's a lot of moments where they pull the knife out and it like centers on the knife. It's like, big point. Another big point for me, and I want to see if anybody else noticed this or anybody else had the same thought that I did. Is this Ocelot's kid? Like, see the footage? You got two guys that shoot normal, and then you got this dude like, ta, ta, ta. And I'm like, that reminds me so much of Ocelot when you first meet him. Like, I think that might be this. I don't know if it's the same gun type or whatever. You remember the gun he used before he got a revolver? It was the what was it called? It was like it started with an M. It was a little black gun, had 8 bullets. I know things about it, but I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, the way that guy shoots, it's like, I don't know if they meant to do that or why they did that. But when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, Ocelot has a son. Yeah, that would be awesome if Ocelot did have a son. Another thing, I really like the little black kid with the afro. That part made me laugh a little bit. And I just thought it was cool because, like, the kid's just standing there, and then, like, you see Kaz, and he, like, whacks him with his cane or his little crutch thing, and then the kid just grabs his gun. He's like, "What, motherfucker?" It's like, I like this one. He's got some spunk in him. His name's Drebin. No, I don't know. I definitely think that there is going to be some, like, the psychic element is definitely in this game. Whether it's through Psychomantis or there's other people that can, like, manipulate minds. Because you see those weird soldiers that look like they're dead in that one trailer. Those, like, they have the numbers on their head and stuff, but like when they show up in that like windstorm, they're like all jerking around and stuff, like they're being controlled or something. But what makes me think about the whole psychic connection or whatever is at the very end of the trailer when you see Big Boss is kind of like surrounded by people, and then he like shoots them, and then that one guy is just kind of like stumbling around and like they're acting like they're zombies or whatever, and he just shoots that guy. But if you look at the uniforms look like the uniforms of the Outer Heaven people, the Diamond Dogs. That's so it's like, why is he shooting his own men? Is it because they're under some sort of mind control or whatever? I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking, something like that. But now it's time for the part of the trailer that everybody actually wants me to talk about. It's Skullface and Big Boss are now in cahoots. They're working together. I don't know. It's weird. Like, you just get that one little snippet, and it's like, what does it mean? What's going on here? You see the Metal Gear in the background, and then Big Boss and Skullface ride up and get out of a Jeep or whatever, and then that's it. Like, that's really all you get to see. At first I was like, is Skullface like his prisoner or something, because he had that little mask on, but I don't know, because he doesn't look like he's tied up or anything. It looks like I'm pretty sure you can see through it. I think it's got like, you know, like kind of like sunglasses or whatever in it, and I'm like, maybe he just has to wear that because all the burns, he's like sensitive to light or something. I don't know. But then you don't see him wearing it before, and it's nighttime, so it doesn't make sense that he would be wearing it then. There's just, the mask just kind of throws me off. Like, I don't know what it means. But you have to ask the question, why the hell would those two be working together? And it's just like, because it's so out of left field. Like, he's the one responsible for, you know, killing half the people at Outer Heaven and MSF, like disbanding all that shit because he attacked them. So it's like, why is he working with Big Boss? But if you kind of look into what's happened so far, you understand that they have kind of like interests. It's like, he was working for Cypher. And that's the one thing that's still unclear to me, is the attack on Outer Heaven, was that Cypher or was that Skullface, like working like as part of Zoff or whatever? Like, basically what I'm saying is, was he acting independently when he did that? Because at the end of the game, you hear him interrogating Paz, and you hear that clip or whatever, but he's looking for Cypher. He's looking for Zero. He wants to get him. And, like, that's basically what he's trying to do. And we know that Zero cares a lot about Big Boss and, you know, wants Big Boss. So by attacking Big Boss, he may be trying to draw Cypher out. Or he could just be working for Cypher, attacking Big Boss. I'm not 100% sure about all that. Like, that's something that's kind of been bouncing around in my head. Now, if he did that on orders from Cypher, it would be a lot easier to understand why they're now working together, because it's like, oh, I was working on orders from Cypher, but now I want to get Cypher, and you want to get Cypher, and we could work together. It's like, because it would make more sense that way, because, like, I don't know, the bad blood between them, there's definitely got to be some bad blood between them, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge the way that Big Boss probably thinks. And my big example of kind of like the warrior aspect, the soldier aspect, is if you look back at Metal Gear Solid, I think, the first one, when Snake is talking about, Solid Snake is talking about Gray Fox, and how, like, when they first met, they were buddies and friends, and then they met again, and then they were enemies, and they had to fight, but there was no, like, bad blood between them. Like, he didn't hate Gray Fox when he fought him. He just they're soldiers. It's what we do. We just ended up on opposing sides. Like it's almost like a sporting tournament. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? It's just there's no like bad blood about it. So you kind of wonder if that's what Big Boss is thinking going into this. I think Skullface was definitely impressed by the fact that Snake didn't die when he attacked him. I think because there's that videotape or tape or whatever when he's interrogating that soldier and like he's talking about his history and everything. And he's like, "Show me that you can come back from the dead to get revenge." Like, because that's what he did, and he wants to see somebody else do that. That's pretty much what Big Boss did. Like, Big Boss was pretty much dead, and now he's back, and he's going for revenge. So you could definitely see how, Skullface would become obsessed with Big Boss as well, and you want to join forces with him. And that's what I'm thinking with that whole thing. I mean, there's probably a lot more to go into, but like I said, I'm just kind of hitting on all the topics I wanted to talk about in this trailer. But I think I've pretty much gone through everything I wanted to talk about. So this will be, yeah. But yeah, as far as like the channel's going and all the videos and stuff, it's like I enjoy making these videos. I have fun doing it. It's just you need time to. I need a quiet house so I can actually record and not have like weird noises in the background or anything, and just dealing with life and all the stuff I'm doing. It's like I'm currently trying to move out of my house, but I've bought a house, but I haven't moved in yet. It was kind of a fixer-upper, and I'm trying to repair it and get everything like ready so I can actually move in. And once I get in a new house, I think I'll have more free time, and I'll have more. I'll be able to do more videos and stuff like that. And I also wanted to kind of like talk about. I enjoy doing Metal Gear Solid videos, I really do, but I do kind of want to, stem out into other things like other video games and stuff. And I've seen some people comment asking me to do videos about other games, or like, do I have any thoughts about any other games? And I really wanted to just kind of throw some questions out to you guys, like, what do you want to see me talk about? Because it could be video games. I'm into different games and stuff, and I'm also into like anime, TV shows, like just random stuff. I like to speculate on story elements, like what's going to happen. So like, because Metal Gear Solid, you really have a lot of established like canon or whatever to pull from, so you can actually predict and dig into it. Like as far as reviewing games, it's kind of like I did it for a little bit. It didn't really go anywhere. I mean, that's the main reason I've done so many Metal Gear Solid videos, is because they were the ones people watched. So, but if you want to see me do more different type stuff, I'll probably be trying some stuff out. So if you enjoy it, let me know. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, like any questions at all, just general things that you want me to talk about. I mean, fuck. Yeah, you just comment. I read your guys' comments. I enjoy reading your comments. I like it when people give me their theories, and you guys really help me stay current with all the information coming out, because I probably don't get as much information as I should, like about everything that's coming out with Metal Gear. Like you guys are on Twitter and everything like that, and I just feel like I don't know about things, but then somebody will tell me, and then I'll look into it, and then I'm like, and then I can make theories off that. So, keep the comments coming. And yeah, that's my video, and I'll see you guys later, whenever that is.